Alright, so today I'm gonna do like a trial run with you guys. Like this is gonna be what it's gonna be like when I'm gone. First of all, do your entrance ticket. It's on the table where it always is. You guys are in charge today. I want to see how you guys handle it without me here. I mean, I'm obviously here, but we're gonna grade your entrance ticket together in a minute, so that means don't turn it into the bin. Today's objective: I can simplify exponents using division. So when you're done with your entrance ticket, go ahead and write that down. Now, whoever's in charge of the video, pause the video until everybody's ready to grade. All right, let's grade this. 1, 6a. 2 is 6. 3, 4m to the 6th, n. And if you have n to the 1, that's okay too. Okay, if you have a to the 1, that's okay too. 12x to the 7th, y to the 1, or just y. Okay, so now let's look at your packet. Go ahead and pause the video and write your objective. Once everybody's wrote the objective, we can move on. Oops. So go ahead and pause the video on the objective until everybody's ready to go. All right, let's look at number 2. So these are a little bit different because now we're talking division. Before I ever start multiplying, dividing anything, I always try to move my negatives and my zeros. Okay, so let's move that. We know how to move that. I'm going to leave these other two things up there, and I'm going to leave these two things down here, and then I'm going to have u to the 2. Okay. So 3 and 2, I always do coefficients first. You guys know I always do the coefficients first. But I can't simplify 3 and 2. That's just as simple as it gets. Then I've got this v squared. Do I have any other v's? Nope. Do I have, how many u's do I have? U to the 3rd. Okay, u1 and u2. Well, this one's pretty simple because we didn't have to move anything, right? There was no v's on top to simplify with bottom, or u's on top or on bottom to simplify with top. That's kind of where we're starting at, but then we're going to talk about what you do when you divide. Whoops, wrong way. Sorry, guys. Let's go to number 3. Okay, this one has a's and b's on both, but before I start, I'm going to move my negative up. I'm going to leave my 4a to the 3rd, b squared. I left all that stuff. And then on the bottom, I'm leaving this a to the 4th. And then I have this b to the negative 3, which I know means I have to move it up top and make the exponent positive. So let's simplify my coefficients. I just have a 4 and then like a 1 out here. So really that's just a 4. And then I have this a to the 3rd, a over 4. So when you have exponents that were like this, the b to the 3rd and b to the squared, we know that's going to end up being b to the 5th, right? We added. So when they're multiplied, we add. So when we divide, stop and think, what do you think we could do? You would subtract, and you put it wherever the bigger number is. So since 4 is the bigger number, a to the 4 minus 3, you put it where the 4 was. 4 minus 3 is 1. So that's your answer. 4b to the 5th, a to the 1. Now let me rephrase that because I know that's complicated. B to the 3rd and b to the thing, or 3rd and 2nd became b to the 5th. 4 stayed 4. A to the 3 and a to the 4, you subtract them and put it wherever the bigger exponent was. A to the 4th. Because that's 4 is bigger than 3. Okay? Seems pretty simple, straightforward. All right, let's go on to 6. Oh, now I've got all kinds of negatives. Let's move these bad boys. Okay, dun, da, da, dun, da, da. First I write out what I'm leaving. 3n to the 4th. That's all the stuff I left. Then I'm going to move this n squared down and this m to the negative 3 up. Well, now, lucky me, 2 and 3 I can't simplify anymore. M's are all on top and my n's are all on bottom, so I don't have to subtract anything. That's just awesome. I can add them, m to the 7th, n to the 6th, and I'm done. Okay, I know this is hard to wrap your head around because that is the answer. People keep wanting to get like a 7. This is the answer. All we're doing is simplifying. Okay. Number 7. This is another one where I'm going to move my negatives. 2x to the third over 4y, and then I'm going to move this y squared down, x to the fourth up. Now 2 over 4, can I simplify that? Yes. 1 over 2. They can both be divided by 2. 2 over 4 is the same as 1/2. I can combine my x to the third and x to the fourth to make x to the seventh, and I can combine my y to the 1 and my y squared to make y to the third. So now, let's go to the harder problems. Go to number 26. Go to number 26. So this is harder because it's way more numbers and variables. First things first, let's move all these negatives. So I've got 4x to the third I'm leaving. And then down here I'm going to have 2x to the third that I'm leaving. And then I'm going to have this 3 that I'm leaving. Remember, this is all times. Then I'm going to move this y squared down. And that one's gone. I'm going to move this y squared up. And I'm going to move then I'm going to move this y to the 1 up. The reason I move all the negatives first is because it's simpler than trying to subtract negatives. So let's do my coefficients. 4 divided by 2 times 3. So that's really 4 over, oops, let's write it over here. 4 over 6, right? Can I simplify 4 over 6? Yeah, I can simplify that to 2 over 3. Okay, because I did 2 times 3 because those are my coefficients, and that's where the 6 came from. And then I just had a 4 up here, no other coefficients. That's where the 4 came from. So I have 2 over 3. Then I'm going to simplify my x's. X over 3 over x over 3. That becomes x to the 0, which is really 1, so we don't need it. So that's gone. Now I have y to the 2, y to the 1. Let's just rewrite that. Y to the 2, y to the 1, y to the 2. First thing I'm going to simplify is this. So I still have my 2 over 3. Then I have y to the 3, y to the 2. And now I can subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. And I put y to the 1 wherever the bigger exponent was. That was the 3. So that's where I put that y to the 1. 2 over 3, y to the 1. All right, 27. I'm going to start by moving my negatives. Hold on a sec. Okay. 2y squared times 4 over x squared y to the 4th. I always start with what I keep, because otherwise, if you lose one thing, you're wrong. You have to keep everything. So let's move things strategically and check them off as you move them. Okay, see how I'm checking everything off as I move it, so I know I got all my parts? Now, I always start with coefficients. Is there any other things I can simplify with that too? Nope. Oh, yes there is. Just kidding. 2 and 4 is 8. So let's rewrite this. 8y squared over x squared, y to the 4th, x to the 4th, x to the 4th. So you can do this several ways. Actually, why don't you go ahead and pause the video and try to finish this, and then when you're done finishing it, then hit play again and I'll go through just one way, the way that I'm going to do it. Okay? Because there's no right way. You could do the y's now. You can combine the x's first. Doesn't matter which one. Go ahead and pause the video, try and figure it out, and then replay and I'll just show you how I did it. My way is not necessarily right. Any way that you get the right answer is right. Okay? Everything in math is about doing what works for you to get the correct answer. So pause it now. All right, so I'm going to simplify all these x's because I've got so many x's here and I don't want to lose one. So I've got 8y squared over x to the 2, 4, 4. That is x to the 10 y to the 4. Now I only have these y's to simplify. Remember, I subtract and I put it, well, I've got 8 and the x to 10. I'm not doing anything with those. So now I'm just playing with these y's. Right? I meant to pick a black, but I didn't. Okay. And y to the 4 minus 2 is 2. And I put it wherever the bigger one is, on the bottom. That is your answer. Okay, let me switch tabs here so I can check the answers. So I'm going to put the answers on the board for when you are done, that you can check them. Okay, check them when you're done and turn them into the box if you finish today. Your homework is to do all of them. It should not take you very long, but these are complicated, so it makes a lot of mistakes. Make sure you're actually doing them. So I'm going to put the answers up there. Okay, be good. Okay, here's the answers. I can't change the screen size. I could probably make these bigger though. Yeah, here we go, guys. All right, there's the answers. Go ahead and pause it. Work on this. You've got the rest of the hour. I am still here, so I need to know, like, if you have questions, if you're struggling with this, let me know. But I do want you guys to see how this is going to operate without me. Make sure that you've turned in your entrance tickets. Every day, make sure you've turned in your homework from the day before, because I'm going to be super crabby about late work while I'm gone. So make sure that you're turning in your work, and make sure none of you have late work. I also am going to talk to you guys before the end of the hour. Don't let me forget about the dodgeball tournament tomorrow. Okay, thanks. I'll see you guys like now.